Afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2. First video of the weekend. I've been feeling a little under the weather, so I just really haven't been into wanting to be in front of the camera. A whole lot of sniffing and coughing and things going on. Still a little nasally, as you can probably tell from my voice, but trying to get better. I just figured I'd share some things with y'all today that have been going on over the weekend that I wanted to report on. And so I've got a pile of stuff set up here. I got about 15 or 20 windows open, so hopefully everybody sticks around. I got several things I want to talk about, some things that are going on that are pretty serious, button heads with from the deep state and these left-wing judges trying to prevent Trump from deporting Trump and Homan from deporting illegals. And it's a mess. We'll get into that a little closer to the end, but I've got several things I want to bring to you out, including the fact that it's a sad day, but it's also a great day for none other than Dan Bongino. I got a little clip of his last show on the internet, since he is now a member of Cash Patel, or is actually deputy director to the FBI. He's Cash Patel's number two guy, I believe, number two guy at the FBI now. And Cash Patel and Dan Bongino are the perfect guys for this job because they both know where the bodies are buried. They both know how the deep state acts. They both know all the perpetrators. They both discussed this many, many times on podcasts about how all these crooked people have been running our country. And so it's on. I'm so ready to see Bongino get in there and do his thing, but he had to give up his podcasting thing as a part of that. So you take the good with the bad. I would much rather have him as a agent instead of just another great podcaster out there. But hats off to Bongino and his podcasting career and his career at the Secret Service as well. And hopefully, I wish him the best at taking down the criminals in our government as the new number two guy at the FBI. Perfect job. All right, folks, let's get into it. Like I said, this may be a little bit long. Here we go.
That's crazy. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, man.
Yeah.
That's one of those shows
That's
where,
one of the best shows.
man, I looked up and, we say it's gone. Like, I looked up and it was gone. Like, I looked up, we were 2.5 hours in. Like, what just happened? Oh, man. I gotta keep my earpiece in that drawer. Gee, that drawer's only for me, okay? Second drawer, right over there. That's where that drawer goes.
Bongino's crying. It's his last day on the air. Yeah, I watched Bongino 1,000 times on his YouTube channel before they nuked it. And then I've watched him over on his Rumble channel many a times. And now I catch his clips over on X. But I think he is the perfect man for the job just because of his ability to get in there and just pick out the deep state. I know he can do it. He's got all the information. He knows the story. He's done the investigative homework. All right, folks, this is a video clip from Ultra MAGA Party. They do great clips, great memes. Let's go ahead and get into it. This is why Dan Bongino's the right guy for the job.
Folks, they always accuse you of what they're doing. And because they're terrified that their tyranny's not going to continue if Donald Trump wins, they're now doing this simple distraction technique that has appealed to useful idiots for a long time and been used by commies, socialists, Soviets. They've used it forever. They just blame you for exactly what they're doing.
Politico recently spoke with former intelligence officials about how on edge the idea of a second Trump term makes all of them.
Are you freaking kidding me? Are these the same 51 intelligence officers who falsely bullshitted America? These scumbags, every single one of them. You hear me? Absolute scumbags. You don't like the word? Too bad. That's what you are. A bunch of scumbag fuckwads. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. 51 of you pieces of shit who told America before an election.
50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plan.
During campaign season, you want to be able to understand everything that the Russians might do.
This laptop that would have changed the entire course of American history, would have kept the border closed if Trump got reelected, probably wouldn't be a Russian invasion of Ukraine, probably wouldn't have been an October 7th attack either. We'd be living in a different world right now. Because you 51 intelligence scumbags, knowing you were full of shit the whole time, now you dare, you've got the balls to say that Trump could weaponize the spy services? I'm demanding an investigation if Trump wins into all of these people for a conspiracy to interfere in an election and potentially worse. And Joe Biden's going to be the first target of that investigation.
That's right on time for what's going on with the auto pen situation and everything. Now we're finding out that Biden wasn't even in town. A lot of times his auto pen was being used. I wonder, was Hunter Biden at the White House renting out the auto pen according to what people wanted to use it for? People were probably writing executive orders and pardons and anything they could do to protect themselves or stop Trump from coming after the deep state. It was all done last minute with the auto pen, and that's what we're finding out. But it's just another one of the many unfolding stories. This is going to be 4 years of exposure and hopefully incarceration. I'm ready to see a lot of people go to jail. Now, y'all probably already seen this, but I just really love this clip. Check it out. Elon's smiling in the background. Check him out. Because he realizes X done took off with Trump. This is when they head to the helicopter. Too cute. Very cool. Like Elon, jumping up and down, jumping up and down. All right, folks, let's get into a little bit of news. This here was
We're here at the Department of Justice.
Benny Johnson interviewed General Flynn, and there was something that he said that just really stuck out to me. And I thought, this is the right answer. Because General Flynn has took no position under Trump's administration. Trump said he's offered him 10 different positions, and General Flynn said, "No, I'm not ready. No. He's working on other things." Well, listen to what General Flynn says here at the end of this interview with Benny at the DOJ. This is obviously what he is working on.
With General Flynn.
Can you believe it? Talk about the Department of Just Us.
Yeah, you know, a couple years ago, it'd be like us in handcuffs if we had to go to the DOJ.
They tried to bring me into this place in handcuffs, and they lost. They lost that battle, and here we are. This is a great day, a historic day. President Trump is here at the Department of Justice. I think it's the first time a president's been in this hall in my lifetime. So he's here with Pam Bondi. She's doing great. A lot of good things going on. We just got a briefing from Kash Patel and the Deputy Attorney General. Amazing work these people are doing in just a month and a half.
It's got to mean so much to you, General, based on what you've gone through. Just really quickly, tell people.
Yeah, I mean, everything that I've gone through, and when I look at the country and the risks that we are facing as a nation, you know, the weaponization of everything, of the justice system, of the intelligence community, the lack of trust between the American people and the institutions that are supposed to protect us and save us, you know, that's shot. It's coming back. It's coming back. And I'm going to tell you, I wish, and I think that they did capture some of what Kash just said, what he just presented this audience. Amazing, the kind of work that these guys are doing to bring justice back to this country and to stop the weaponization, but also to go after those people that did weaponize it. And that's my warning, because that's why I'm here.
Yeah, revenge? The revenge tour. The General Flynn revenge.
General Flynn, this is why I'm here at the DOJ, is what General Flynn says. He says it's to go after these fools that weaponized our government and come after me and Trump and all of these conservatives that were just trying to do the right thing. I'm glad to hear it. Hopefully, I have to believe that we are going to have a lot of people that big name people go to jail for dozens of reasons, and a lot of them will be fraud. Hopefully, some of them will be behind things like the Epstein list. I think the money laundering scam between Act Blue and USAID is going to tank a lot of members from both parties, especially the Democrats. That's just my belief. It says here, thank you to Miranda Devines of the New York Post for reporting on the exclusive story that I broke. Laura Loomer. Great article. I guess they're having a spat, but what happened was is Hunter Biden realized that he was fixing to have to do a deposition over one of his court cases, and to avoid it, he says, "I'll just move to Africa, South Africa, with my South African girlfriend." And so they bounced. They left the country just like that. Says Hunter Biden fled the country to Africa to dodge a deposition, and Secret Service protection is protecting him abroad as he dodges the courts and cries poverty. How should he still get Secret Service protection? That's some bullshit right there. He doesn't need Secret Service protection. Now, this here I thought was very cool. We're not going to listen to the Russian version of it. I'll just give you the gist of it. It says Vladimir Putin praises President Trump for doing all he can to restore relations that were almost completely destroyed by Joe Biden. That's what Putin said. Thank God. It's just a blessing to hear. I'm glad to hear Putin is recognizing Trump's doing all he can to fix this mess for everybody. Now, this here I thought was a cool story. You know, they have this CBP One app that the Biden administration was using to import people into this country, get them all set up on the phone before they got here through this app. Well, it is now being used to track these people. So the ICE and Immigration Department knows where to find these people. And it's also been changed over to tell people how they can self deport. And this girl right here, who was a Columbia protester student, self deported back to Canada to avoid being arrested because she was finding out several people at the college in just the last week or two have been arrested behind being there on visas, being previously arrested for violence on the campus or inciting violence, and just let back out with no problem. Well, the paper trail's finally starting to catch up with them, and self-deport. She used the app, did the whole 9 yards. I think that's great. Let's watch it together, folks. This is a jihadist sympathizer. She was running up out that airport. Let's do that again, folks. Here she goes. Now, I believe people ought to have the right to protest, but when you're putting people's fear, people's lives in fear, and destroying property, causing a domestic disturbance that shuts down business, you're no longer protesting. You're you're uh, you're infringing on other people's rights, and then it steps into criminality. And these people tend to step over the line every time. It says Fox News exclusive obtained video of Columbia protester student Ranjani Siribasan, a national from India, self-deported to Canada using her CBP One CBP Go app. It was called CBP One, now it's called CBP Go app. Seen here in the black hoodie. DHS source confirms her F1 visa has been revoked. Says Christian Nome says in a statement, it is a privilege to be granted a visa to live and study in the United States of America. When you advocate for violence, terrorism, that privilege should be revoked and you should not be in our country. Additionally, DHS sources confirmed that the arrest of another Columbia protester student, Liga Cordia from West Bank, Palestine, HSI, Newark, arrested, 13 immigration violations, and the list goes on. They're rounding them up, folks. Yeah, she's burning off. She says, I'm out. Maybe we're going to come get her anyway. She knew it. Now, this here, I don't know who this guy is, but I listened to this and I thought, this sounds like the only sensible British person in British politics there is out there. I thought maybe the guy that kind of looks like Trump, Boris, was a little sensible, little bit conservative. But this guy here, he sounds like Trump to me, but a British version. Listen to this guy's. Listen to what this guy's policies are.
Trump and the Americans, it has made me even more determined than ever to restore our unique country through a great repeal act when Labour falls at the next election. I don't particularly care if we're liked by the rest of the world. I care if we're respected, because right now Britain is a joke, and it has been for some time. I want the British government to put the British people at the top of the agenda. Yeah! We should make no apologies for that. Learn from Trump. Let's be unapologetically patriotic. Slash tax across the board. Enforce the border. Deport those with no right to be here.
Yeah.
Accept biological reality. Fight back against wokery. Bulldoze nonsensical foreign aid. Eradicate DEI. Deliver sensible infrastructure. Carpet bomb public sector waste. Brutally crack down on crime. And plenty more. Let's make Great Britain great again. Thank you. Thank you. Trump and the Americans. It has made me even more.
I'd vote for that guy. It sounds like they need him running England, because he definitely has got the right idea, or at least talks right. Now, if you haven't heard, there's been a big fuss up over the last couple of days over Tom Homan trying to send about 250 Tren de Aragua and MS-13 gang members to El Salvador, to an El Salvador El Salvador prison, and this leftist Obama judge decided that he was going to try to stop it. And as a process of this happening, he even tried to tell them they had to turn the planes around in midair, which were in flight. And before I get any more of the story, let me just read you a little bit of it. There's a couple of clips I got here about it as well. The story has evolved since I actually started building this video. It says, President of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, mocked the U.S. District Court James Boozberg after two flights of U.S. carrying nearly 250 and 300 Venezuelans and other gang members landed in El Salvador, despite Boomberg's emergency order issued Saturday evening in a case brought on by the ACLU to turn the planes around and return the gang members to the United States. This is ridiculous, right, folks? It says, according to the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, a few MS-13 gang members and most wanted fugitives were among the over 250 Tren de Aragua Venezuelan gang members deported after President Trump invoked the 1798 Alien Enemies Act. Now, these are some of the pictures of them getting transferred. Well, what happened is Marco Rubio and Pam Bondi both basically told the judge, we're not turning the planes around. They landed in Mexico. They landed in El Salvador anyway. Bukele posted, "Oopsie, too late," over a New York Post headlines that reads, "Federal judge orders deportation flights carrying alleged Venezuelan gang members to U.S. after Trump invokes Alien Enemies Act." See, shows you how shitty the judge is. Left-wing judge, no doubt about it. Let's watch a little bit of the video of it. as the judge tried to stop this with an injunction, and he did. He did not get those two flights turned around. They took them anyway and just said, kick rocks, whatever. Now, since then, Pam Bondi has filed an emergency injunction as well, or an emergency appeal as well, to try to be able to continue this order. This is coming down to a Supreme Court fight in the end. These local judges should not have the power to stop the president from doing his job or any of his agencies from doing their job. It's just crazy. Yeah, it says Trump administration defiantly tells radical left judge to pound sand following the controversial ruling. It says immediately halt of deportation flights is what the judge ordered. You kidding me? That's some sad crap right there, folks. Yes, folks, it has gotten silly. We're actually going to see about getting that judge impeached. This video should strike fear into the hearts of the cartels watching how their guys, their top guys, are being manhandled out of our country, shackled down, handled up on. I'm glad to see it, to be honest with you, folks. All right, here's a great story as well. Or part of the story as well, should I say. It says that Brandon Gill moves to impeach Obama Judge James Boasberg for blocking Trump's use of Alien Enemies Act. So they're going to put it on the House floor and see if they can impeach him. I don't even know how you impeach a judge. That's a new one on me. Let's read a little bit. It says Representative Brandon Gill from Texas, good job, announced his plans to file articles of impeachment against U.S. District Judge James Boasberg. This action comes in response to the Judge Boasberg's recent decision to temporarily block Trump's invocation of the Aliens Enemy Act of 1798, aimed at expediting deportation of members of Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. The U.S. Judge Boasberg, an Obama-appointed radical judge, has single-handedly derailed President Trump's effort to remove these violent gang members with this decision. Says the administration's objective was to swiftly deport gang members infiltrating the United States without adhering to the prolonged procedures typically associated with criminal and immigration proceedings. And the judge says, we ain't having it, bastard. Pardon my language. He needs to be impeached. Set up articles of impeachment. I guess you take a vote on it, go from there. Pam Bondi files an emergency motion with D.C. Circuit Court to halt illegal order by Obama-appointed Judge Boasberg, alleging sabotage to the presidency. You better be careful. He's playing with the federal government. This judge is not above the law. Now, we've got a little bit of Jim Jordan. Want to talk about it as well today.
Whites now on their way back to America with all of these Venezuelan gangs?
Yeah, that's my understanding. This judge says, don't send the hardened criminals back to where they belong. Bring them back to the country so I can evaluate. And again, this is the same judge, by the way, Maria, who a few years ago, when there was information taken to the FISA court that was false, the guy who falsified that information, this lawyer, Kevin Kleinsmith, basically Judge Boasberg gave him a slap on the wrist. So this is that same judge. Don't let the hardened criminals leave, even though the head of the executive branch, Article 2, Section 1 says executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States. This is his prerogative. He followed the law. He did this. This judge says, no, no, no. Bring the hardened criminals back. Bring the gang members back. And we're going to have a hearing on it. I think it's set for next Friday. So, yeah, this is kind of ridiculous. But frankly, we probably should have suspected this from a judge who did what he did with Kevin Kleinsmith and that whole FISA court stuff back during the fake Trump-Russia collusion baloney.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up. I was going to bring it up. Judge Boasberg sat on there as the presiding judge on the FISA court. It's the judge who gave the FBI lawyer Kevin Kleinsmith a slap on the wrist and basically, what did he do? too. He manufactured evidence used in the Carter Page FISA application that defrauded the court. So should we just expect constant pushback and resistance from this judge because he doesn't like Trump and has been trying to undo Trump for years?
Yep.
Well, remember what he did. The guy, Kevin Kleinsmith, actually altered the document. He falsified a piece of information taken to the court. It made it mean exactly 180 degrees opposite of what the actual email said. And the whole underlying case was here. The Clinton campaign went to the Perkins Coie. Perkins Coie hired Fusion GPS, who hired a foreigner, Christopher Steele, who put together a fake, false document in addition to what Kevin Kleinsmith did, this dossier that Jim Comey took to the court so they could go spy on President Trump's campaign. So that's the background. And now this guy is saying, oh, let the hardened criminals come back to America. Makes no sense. This is why the American people support what President Trump is doing and are fed up with these judges. Now, we took some action a couple of weeks ago in our committee. We said these federal judges, these district federal judges who issue some kind of injunction, some kind of hearing, or some kind of decision, I should say, that decision should only apply to the parties of the case in that respective jurisdiction, not have nationwide implications. So that's a step we took in committee 2 weeks ago to help deal with this problem, and we're willing to look at everything else as well, because the American people are fed up with the judge in Timbuktu, California, saying something that then applies to the entire country.
And of course, the entire country now will have to watch to see if these hardened criminals or these...
We already know how that happened. They got dropped off in Venezuela. They got dropped off anyway. Rubio said, sorry about your luck. Pound sand. Van Bundy said, how dare you? Now, this here I thought was a cool ass meme. Donald Trump puts it out on his truth, says, look what Trump just posted. It says Trump, 2016 to 2020, or 2017, 2021. And then it's got a picture of the auto pen during Biden's administration. And then it's got Trump again with his mugshot, 2025, current. I love it. That's a good one. All right, I got a couple more things I want to bring to y'all today before I get out of here. It says, the American people have had enough when a video of Senator Elizabeth Warren is running from the FBI with bags of cash gets over 45,000 views. And it's a lot more than that now. It says, we are sick of the politicians getting filthy rich, insider trading, laundering our money to NGOs and selling us out. I thought this was funny. I love it. I love it. All right, folks. A couple more little quick things I want to bring to y'all today. This here is just the absolute truth. This is mainstream media, one of the worst. Just telling the truth about the polls, CNN polls. Listen to what this guy says about Democrat approval. I bet it's hard for them to say this out loud, but the Democrats are looking so bad right now. Check it out.
I'm a big fan of the oldies, and when it comes to the feelings that Americans, voters at large, and Democrats have, I can't help but think of Chubby Checker. Why is that? Because the question is, how low can you go? Voters' views of Democrats in Congress, the lowest ever approval ratings on record per Quinnipiac University. Look at this. Approved 21% among all voters. Look at the disapprove level. Holy Toledo, 68% of all voters disapprove of how Democrats are doing in Congress. Now, you might think that is low, and this is the lowest number on your screen here down at 21%. But I want to bring you over here to how Democratic voters feel, because this is truly unbelievable. Amongst their own party, how do Democratic representatives, senators, how are they viewed? Get this, the plurality disapprove at 49%. More Democrats disapprove of the job that their party is doing in Congress than approve. Get this, only 40% approve. These are truly horrific numbers. They are in the trash bin of history. That is how low these approval ratings are. When you can't even get plurality approval among your own party, you know you're doing something wrong in the eyes of the
Trash bin of plurality. Oh, that's so good. Now, I just wanted to do this video, play a minute of it. I don't like using other people's stuff, but this guy comes out with a video. I think it's an entire team. It's called Intellectual Frog Legs. I believe they're only on Rumble. Now, you may find them on Twitter. I haven't looked, but I thought they were only on Rumble. But this guy puts together these, or his team puts together these really, really great storytelling type documentaries with music and great memes throughout the thing. A well-made production every time. I watch several of these. This one's called Winds of Change by Intellectual Frog Legs. I'll play you a little of it, and it's over here on the Gateway Pundit. If you want to know how to find it, you can do it here directly where I'm at, or you can go to Rumble and type in Intellectual Frog Legs, 2 words. All right, folks. I just thought this is great stuff. Let's get into it. It'll be the last one of the day.
Greetings, my friend. We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. And remember, my friend, future events such as these will affect you in the future.
Rock and roll, God bless America. Bing, bing, bong, bong. Bing, 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 bong, bong. Bing, 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 bang, bang.
Yeah, you're going to have to kick over people's paradigms. You're going to have to kick over people's turfs. You're going to have to change people's understanding of things that they have invested their whole life into, a view of the world.
All right, we'll play you a little more. That's the intro. This is the guy right here. His name's Dan.
Mom only carried one photo because she said if you've seen one, you've seen them all. And welcome to Intellectual Frog Legs. The room and hit the wall and got ketchup everywhere. Or one of my favorites, President Trump strangled his Secret Service agent. They can't make up stories about Trump anymore.
Really great channel, folks. Go check it out. I just figured I'd give him that shout out just because I think it's very entertaining. They go to a lot of trouble to put these 20, 30, 40-minute long clips together. A lot of work. I can just see that doing this editing here. A lot of work. Just lots of respect for him. Like, subscribe, and share to Road to Patriots. Hopefully everybody's having a great weekend. Back to the grind tomorrow. Back to work. Hope for most of us at least. Over and out.